Hello, Edmonton. My name is Ankit, and this is.
Rob Yastrzemski with RJ Homes and eXp Realty.
And what are we doing today, Rob?
Great news, everybody. Hot off the press, the market stats are out for September, the Greater Edmonton area, and everything is up, except for the interest rates. They're going down. Great news for buyers and sellers alike.
So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go through the stats one by one, and you let me know what you think about them and what do the viewers need to think about as well.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Let's start with the juiciest part, the selling price. So I see that in the detached section, I do see an increase about 11.7% as compared to last year, September.
Yeah, that's actually all of residential combined. So what this means is that basically, just as predicted, because of all of the in-migration from all the other provinces in Canada, we're seeing an incredible demand for housing, and sure enough, that means that we're having an average selling house price that has increased by over 11% right across the board all over the Greater Edmonton area.
And something that I noticed is when I looked at townhouses, apartments, detached homes, I saw the maximum increase in price in half duplex section,
That's right.
Traditionally, we'd see the highest jump in detached properties. Is it just because of like our price point where we are at, or?
Yeah, so we'll touch on this as we go through in more detail, but generally speaking, yes, as the prices go up of the detached product, we see that the next closest home type to the detached single family home is a duplex or semi-attached, and those are the ones that are most valuable to the buyers, meaning that you're getting the same square footage built in roughly the same year and for a lot less. So people are really flocking to buying those, and of course that means that that's where we're seeing the highest increases.
Just to give viewers a perspective, the difference between the price point as compared to last year for semi-detached, or you can say the duplex market, is 17%.
Right, that's huge.
1-7. Let that sink in.
That's huge.
No pun intended.
Yeah, that's a good point. We'll go over all of the stats in more detail, but overall, we're seeing huge increases of double-digit increases year over year, right across the board with all the different segments of the market. So let's dive in. Without further ado, let's start with these are all Greater Edmonton stats, by the way, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. We're not focusing just on Edmonton, we're focusing on the whole Greater Edmonton area.
Right. All right, so on the same topic of price, let's talk about the average sales price to begin with. Now, the data suggests that our average sales price currently is $440,000, which is an 11.7% increase as compared to last year, September.
Yeah.
What story does this tell, Rob?
Well, in general, this is right across the board. So this means that every segment of the market, whether it be apartment style condo, duplex, semi-detached, detached homes, luxury homes, everything's gone up in price. And it's been a significant, steady increase right from December of last year all the way till now. And we're going to continue to see this as we move forward.
For the viewers who love numbers, I'm going to just break it down for what a single family home looks like, an apartment looks like, and a townhouse looks like, right? So the average price for a single family is going to be $477,000. An apartment is just close to $200,000, so $198 to be specific, and a townhouse almost touching $270,000, right?
That's right. Yeah. Now, so just to clarify, when Anka was saying single family, what that means is that includes duplexes as well as detached homes, semi-detached townhouses, even anything that's not a condominium. That's what's averaging 477. Because as we move forward through the slides, you'll see some even higher prices for just single family detached homes.
Makes sense. All right, let's move to the stats. All right, so let's talk about the average selling price in the Greater Edmonton area. Right now, we are currently at $440,000. That includes all residential. What do you have to say about that?
Well, that's a very generous increase since last year. I believe it was around December of 23, we were somewhere around 375,000. So overall, on average, we've already increased to 440,000. That's very healthy. Typically, we only see maybe 1 or 2% a year. So
that's 11.7%.
Almost 12%. This is awesome.
So what does that say? The prices are going up.
That's right.
Pretty quick.
So typically, that's exactly what we would see when the interest rates are going down. Prices typically go up. When the interest rates go up, prices typically go down. But in this case, even though we had higher interest rates before, there was still a huge migration of people that came to Alberta, specifically the Edmonton area, because we have a large city population, over 1 million in the Greater Edmonton area, and we are still seeing the lowest prices by far in all of Canada. So it's no wonder that we're seeing prices increase.
So the next data is my favorite. It's everybody's favorite property, the detached homes.
That's the one.
So if I want to buy a detached home in Greater Edmonton right now, I need to have 553,000 in my bank, or able to get a mortgage.
Yeah.
Right. So that's almost a 12% increase from last year.
Double digits. So again, on average, if you look at historical data over the long term, say 20, 30 years, we're seeing 3 to 5% year over year increases on average. Right now, we're more than doubling that, which is amazing. But at the same time, I'm not surprised. Again, going back to the fact that we're the lowest priced large city market in the whole country. So very good. And I'm confident we will continue on this path for the years to come.
Right. Just on a side note for the buyers, right, who think that who are in the market looking for a detached home and their price point is 400, the early 400. So they're well below the market average. So if they're looking for something newer, chances are they're not going to find anything, right?
Well, there are still opportunities in the marketplace. However, they have to be, prepared to act quickly, because those homes that are priced lower than the average tend to really sell quickly, especially if they're, say, quote unquote, move-in ready. So you want to make sure that you're working with a good real estate agent that can keep you up to date on all of these new listings, and make sure that you act fast. When you hear from your agent, whether it be an email or a text message that there's a new listing that matches your criteria, don't wait till you're done work. Act now.
Act on it. Yeah. That comes down to the most competitive side of the market, which is the semi-detached, or you can call it the duplex market.
That's right.
Right. So the average price point sits at $413,000, which again is a crazy 16.8% increase as compared to last year.
That's right.
Wow. That's why we're having so many multiple offers, right?
We've been basically dealing with multiple offers on almost all listings, except for maybe the multi-million-dollar luxury product. But anything average price or lower, we've been seeing a lot of multiple offers on properties that are, well prepared for move-in ready status. So that means that the sellers have done a great job on staging it. It's been very competitively priced, so it's not overpriced, and we're seeing a lot of attention to those. And the duplexes especially, it's because the duplexes are very similar in size to a single-family detached home. So basically, what that means is that the duplex segment of the market is the one that's the best value for the buyer. Because typically, if you're looking at the average house buyer, has a family of maybe 2 kids, they need a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. You can find that in a semi-detached for roughly $414,000. Where if you look at a detached home, the same type of home is going to cost you at least $100,000, maybe $125,000 more.
It also tells me another story, Rob. These are excellent investment properties.
Absolutely.
If I were to purchase this property, a semi-detached half duplex, I would have already made 16.8% on average as compared to last year.
That's right.
That is crazy. Guys, if you don't know about real estate, those numbers are crazy.
Yeah, just think about this now. For all you who are considering investing, if you compare this to the stock market, the average stock market maybe goes up 5% a year. That would be considered pretty good. And remember, that's on your total investment. Where when you're buying an investment property such as real estate, all you need to invest is the down payment. And whether that's 5% or 20%, that's up to you. But your investment actually grows on the total amount of the home purchase price itself. So let's break this down, seeing as though you mentioned about investment. Let's pretend that you bought this home for 5% down. Let's pretend, just for easy numbers, let's say it's $500,000.
Yeah.
500,000, 5% is how much?
25.
$25,000. So you put down $25,000, and let's go back to that example that it's a detached home, and your detached home price has gone up by 10, let's say 10%, just to keep it average, even though it's gone up 12.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to your investment? How much did your investment actually go up?
So my investment actually went up total amount of the home. So it's now 510, right?
So when you think about it, if your home was worth, say, 500 when you bought it, today it's worth 550 because it's gone up by 10%, remember. That means that your initial cash investment of $25,000 went up by how much?
Double.
200%.
Yeah.
Now think about this, guys. Where can you get those kind of returns? Not in the stock market. Not a chance.
You can always take out that equity if you need it.
That's right.
Right?
In the future.
In the future, yeah.
Anyways, the point is that real estate is not just a great home investment, but it really is truly a great investment to add to your portfolio. We don't typically see double-digit numbers, but even with single-digit growth on average being 3 to 5% over the long term, that's still, remember, on the total price of the house, not just what you're investing into it.
Exactly.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move to townhouses. So we do see an increase about 9.5%, 9.6%. The average price coming out to be just under $300,000, exactly at $293,000.
That's right. So this is another very hot market because, again, it's a lower price point. You can still get into good size home, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2.5 bathrooms sometimes. Some of these are including single garages or double garages. And remember, guys, this stat that we're seeing here, you'll see that in your slide deck. This includes all townhomes, including condos. So some of these are great for people who are busy, who don't want to look after the maintenance. That's all covered for you.
Yeah. And last but not least, the apartment condominiums. So they have an increase about, again, 9% as compared to last year. But fun fact, as compared to last year, September, this month specifically, we see a decline of about 2.3%. And we are averaging at $200,000 right now.
Yeah, that's right. So apartment style condos, remember, there is a huge variety. You can go from the luxury multi-million-dollar properties that are downtown overlooking the river, or right down to the very, very lowest starter product that's 50 years old. So 200,000 for Edmonton. This is an interesting stat that prices have actually gone up year over year, because typically condos here in the Greater Edmonton area have not performed as well.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Agree. Well, before we move on to the average days on market, I want to give some fun facts to the viewers.
Yeah,
right?
Let's do that.
So guess how much the highest selling detached property, what's the price for that?
Well, I don't have to guess. I have it here right in front of me. But what's interesting is we're here in the Greater Edmonton area where we typically see a lot of luxury homes sell in that $1 to $2 million price range. In this case, back in this September, the highest priced single family luxury home that we had was almost 2.5 million.
2.5 million, guys. So
there we go.
We're not all about just being affordable. We also have luxury in Greater Edmonton, right?
Yeah, not only that, I mean, this doesn't tell the full story. We have a lot of very high-end luxury product that's well over the $10 million mark. It's just those properties don't turn over very, very quickly, or very much for that matter.
Exactly.
Usually people buy those, build those, and they keep them for a very long time. So.
And so semi-detached house, just close to $850,000.
That's a duplex.
That's a duplex.
That's a duplex, guys.
Guys, that's half a house for $850,000. Right? So it must be like a very luxurious.
This is the
in a very
Edmonton
nice
market.
area.
Just goes to show you, we have products ranging from the very affordable all the way up to the very high-end luxury product. And also, one thing to note, these duplexes are actually very much found in the places like close to the university area.
Yeah.
So these duplexes, you can actually usually find them in the university area.
Yeah.
So again, very highly sought after. We see a lot of infill product there. And because it's close to university, that means it's also close to the university hospital.
Well, location,
That's right.
and location.
Yeah, at the end of the day, can't say enough about that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, if you're looking at investing or you've got kids that are going to be going to the university, you know, the sooner you buy into this market, the better.
Yeah. And we just talked about like our average selling price for a condominium apartment is $200,000, but one did get sold for $830,000, which is about $200,000 more than the highest selling townhouse.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it just goes to show you that in this case, this doesn't happen every month, but this month of September we had a fairly high sale. Now, this also doesn't tell the whole story because we have apartment style condos that are well over the $1 million mark in downtown or close to the university area. So again, we'll see what these stats look like next month. So it'll be nice to compare.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. So let's move on to the number of days in the market for, you know, homes to get sold. I can clearly see in the numbers before I read the numbers, the inventory playing a major role, right? Absolutely. So let's start with all residential. Like let's do everything included. So this year, average time that a home took to get sold was 38 days as compared to 44 days last year. That's right. Right.
Yeah, and typically, by the way, just so that the viewers know, on a balanced market, meaning a regular market where buyers and sellers don't have an advantage over each other, this is typically around 75 days. So we're roughly half of that. Yeah, it just goes to show you that inventory levels are definitely lower than average. Average meaning like over the long term. But even last year we had low inventory levels and we're still selling even faster than that.
Even faster, yeah.
Let's break that down into all the different categories.
Yeah, so let's start with, again, detached, right? So it takes about 37 days for a detached property to get sold, which is, last year was 42 days, right? So again, we're seeing the inventory moving faster. I think that's just due to like less and less homes being on sale right now, right?
Less and less homes being on sale is one thing, but they're selling fast. And you, the viewers, must know that we probably have been featured in the news even as the fastest growing with the most amount of construction, new home starts in all of Canada. That's because one of the big reasons is Edmonton, the council has decided to really streamline the permitting process, making it very easy. Yeah. So that's great, but it just goes to show you that's still not enough. We still don't have enough new homes being built to supply the amount of inventory that we need for all the influx of these new buyers coming into the market.
Yeah, and as expected, the semi-detached, the half duplex gets sold within a month, 30 days as compared to 37 last year. Even last year, it was the faster moving side. Yeah. Again, so everything's suggesting to me right now, like if I have a budget of, let's say, $450,000, my best investment is a half duplex. If I want to sell it, it's going to sell fast. The equity is going to rise fast, and I still enjoy all the benefits that I might have enjoyed as with I would get from a detached property, correct, right?
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't stress that enough. Semi-detached or duplexes have always been a very high activity of the market, and in this case especially because as the prices continue to go up, it gets less and less affordable for people to get into the detached market. So that's where the focus really is on the attached, being whether it's townhomes or duplexes.
Yeah, so townhomes on that segment, Pretty similar to detached, 36, 37 days on an average to get sold. Again, they shared a same average as detached last year, just 42 days.
right.
But the longest it takes for you to sell is a condo apartment, almost 50 days. Hasn't changed much. It was around 54, 55 days last year as well.
That's right. That's right. Now, it hasn't changed much in the last couple of years, but it did take a lot longer to sell back in 2020, 2019, and all the years prior to that. So we're seeing that even apartment style condos are starting to sell much faster in the Greater Edmonton area, even though they're the product that usually lags behind. Interesting fact too is the focus has really been on building more of the apartment style condos.
Yes.
Because again, that's the most affordable price point for buyers to first get into the market. So even though you don't get to own a piece of land, it's still a great place to start. At least you're getting into the market because it is actually going up as well. So
It's simply better than paying rent.
absolutely,
Right.
Not only is
It's cheaper.
Exactly. Not only is it better than paying rent, it's cheaper, but you're in full control. So the landlord can't say, "Oh, by the way, I'm selling, so you have to leave."
Exactly.
And you have to uproot your family when you're not ready. You're in control when you own the property.
Yep. All right, we keep talking about inventory, right?
Right.
And how it's affecting the market. Let's dive deeper. Let's talk about numbers to give viewers a perspective of what's going on. So this September, we had a total of 5,700 listings. That sounds a lot to me.
Well, it does until you put it into perspective. This stat is about the whole Greater Edmonton area. This includes all of the properties that are on the residential MLS market, meaning acreages, whether that be a large 100-acre parcel or 2-acre parcel. This includes your apartment style condos, your semi-detached
Vacant
duplexes, vacant lots, everything that's residential. So that is actually not that much. Just to really put it into perspective, on a balanced market, we should be sitting around double that.
Yeah. That leads to the next stat, which now makes more sense, is that new listings this month has been close to 3,200 listings. If I compare to the previous month, we have 4.5% less listings, which leads to 3,200 listings this month.
That's right. And that's, again, an interesting stat. Just to put some perspective, because I've got a lot of experience with this, been doing this for a long time. Typically, in September, we see the inventory levels go up, not down. Because people have been just returning back from holidays. Now it's time to get their homes on the market because they want to make a move before the winter snow sets in. However, this year, from August to September, we've actually had a decrease in the amount of inventory.
Yeah.
So that means that we've had an even more pressure on buyers to buy quickly when something hits the market that's decent.
Makes sense, because the next stat that I have with me is a bit of a head scratcher, right? So in September, we sold around 2,256.
Yeah, 2,256 houses. That's right.
Which is 12.6% less as compared to
August.
That's
right.
So
yeah, so it's interesting again, and that all comes back down to the inventory. We're seeing, I mean, you know this because when you're working with buyers are getting frustrated because of the fact that they go out to see a home, and by the time they get off work at the evening, the home's been listed for say 12 hours or 6 hours, and it's already got 2 or 3 offers on it.
Yeah.
So every home in that lower price range, meaning average or lower, is getting into multiple offers. And so we're seeing that less homes are selling, not because the buyers aren't there, it's just that there isn't enough inventory for the buyers to purchase.
Makes sense. And to summarize and to conclude everything, Rob, and this is something I really like to do, if you can summarize this for me as if I'm 5 years old and what all of this means.
Well, at the end of the day, it just comes down to one thing. Great time to buy overall. You've got the inventory levels are still enough so that you can, if you act fast, you can still get into the market no matter what the market segment is. And as we move forward, the Edmonton area is definitely going to continue to go on an upwards trend, whether it be with the prices,
Right.
the inventory levels are always fluctuating, prices are always fluctuating, but overall, we can foresee that the prices are going to continue to increase in the Greater Edmonton area for years to come. We have great jobs in Alberta. In the Edmonton area, we have a lot of demand for high-paying jobs, and that's why we've got so many people coming to Alberta from all other provinces and across the world, for that matter. So it's great news for sure. And on top of that, again, buyers who are considering buying sometime in the future and waiting for those interest rates to go down, not a great idea, because as the interest rates go down, the prices still continue to go up and you'll never be able to catch up. So the idea is to capitalize on what's going on with the market trends and get into the market. Buy sooner rather than later, because you'll never catch up trying to save up for your down payment.
So here you go, guys. You heard it here. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll do the same thing next month with the new stats.
Remember, guys, just subscribe to the channel here. Remember to share the video. Click on that bell notification so that you'll get these videos every month. We'll be doing these updates monthly, and this will be important for you guys to just kind of keep on top of the market, and it'll be nice for you guys to share this. If you know somebody that is considering buying or selling, we're here for you. You can always check our website, rjhomes.ca. You can call us direct at 780-222-8222, and we'll get you lined up with an agent and go from there. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.